Alright, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tlalollin Ramirez, and let's get into the video. So like I said a few videos ago, which if you guys haven't seen, make sure you go check out that video. I said that I did want to do a few more poker vlogs, and this is no exception. So about a week ago, my brother and I went to Morongo Casino. It is probably a little over an hour away from our house, but it is the only casino in the local area that lets my brother gamble. Alright, enough intro aside, let's get into the video. Alright, so going over these hands, the first hand that we look at is Jack 6 offsuit in the big blind. So unfortunately, I didn't get any pre-flop recording of this hand because I wasn't planning on playing this to begin with, but since I was in the big blind, it limps over to me and I check. So we go multi-way to a flop of Jack Ace 6 with 2 clubs. Flopping bottom 2 pair is honestly a monster. And the small blind and I both check. The hijack stabs at it for $20. Folds back to me and I put in the check raise to 60. And he just calls. So the turn comes a 5 of spades and I lead out again for 60 to charge any flush draws or any ace X combos thinking that they're good. He calls again and the river comes the queen of hearts. And if any straights got there, then oh well, but I have about a pot-sized bet left, so I go ahead and shove it all in for 150, and he decides on a fold. Was not expecting to get it all in with Jack 6 offsuit, but when the cards go your way, they go your way. So the next time we look at is pocket 5s on the button. There's a live straddle and 1 caller before it folds to me. I decide to raise it to 30 and get callers from the original straddle and the limper. Flop comes ace 4-8 with 2 clubs and they both check to me. I think I could go either way with either a check or a bet. I decided to go the more aggressive route and c-bet to a tune of $30. I wanted to make it seem like I had an ace in this flop since it hits my range more often as the pre-flop aggressor. But the bet doesn't go through as the original straddler makes the call. The under the gun player folds and we go heads up to a turn of 4 of diamonds. The straddler checks to me and once again for whatever reason I decide that a bet is the best option. And this time I decide to throw away another $70 from my stack and he decides on another call. The river comes the king of hearts and at this point I'm at the bottom of my range with little to no showdown value, and if he were to check again, I was giving up and checking back. But what's even worse is that he leads out into us, and with 4th pair, I decide on a fold. So now brushing off that terribly played hand, let's try to make some money back with ace jack in the small blind. Now before we go on, I need to say a few things about the guy in the last hand. It seems like he's been on tilt and has been trying to chase some losses, I suppose. So he's been straddling and even blind raising since there's no double straddle at Morongo. Every single hand he could, and this was no exception. Sadly, we're on the small blind with a premium hand, and since the blind raise is out for $25, I decide to re-raise. I re-raise the 3x amount of the 25 and make it 75. My heart is racing mainly because this is probably the most amount of money I've played with in a poker game, and I'm just so nervous to see what this guy does. Anyways, it folds to him. He looks at his cards and basically insta calls. So we go heads up to a flop of 9-3-3 rainbow, probably with only a pot-sized bet left. I ship it in there for about $150 and he snap calls. What the heck does he have? Does he have a 9? Does he have a 3? He has 7 deuce. Does he have a pocket pair? Like, I feel like his range is so freaking wide that my ace jack was ahead of almost anything that he was calling with pre-flop. So I do believe that the shove in that situation was the best thing to do, but he calls. So the run out completely bricks me out. I have ace high and he turns over 7-3 offsuit for a flopped set. Nice hand, bro. Nice hand.
Nice hand.
I reload for another $200 and try my best to brush off the terrible beats I had earlier and play my A game. The dealer was nice and said that I can have at least one of them and decides to give me ace queen. Under the gun, hijack, and button all limp. I raise it to $30 in the small blind, and the under the gun player and button both call. We go 3 ways to a flop of queen, king, king with 2 clubs. And I c-bet for another $30 and only get called by the under the gun player. The turn comes the ace of diamonds, which counterfeits my queens, but if he doesn't have a king, then we should be chopping. I lead out again, planning on giving up on the river if he calls, but we don't get to that point as he folds right then and there. So the next hand is probably one of my favorite hands, and you'll see why in just a minute. We look at ace king offsuit, and there's one caller before it folds to me in the cutoff. I raise it to 15 and get called by the big blind and the original caller. We see a flop of king 10-7 all diamonds, and everybody checks to me. So in this spot, I basically flop the world. I have top with the redraw to the nut flush draw, and I'm not sure if I like this bet in this specific situation. I have been c-betting almost every hand, so to them, my perceived range can be pretty wide. So I throw a pot-sized bet of $45 to charge any diamond draw or any pair of aces that think they're good. And fortunately, we do get a caller from the big blind, and we see a turn, which is the 4 of clubs, which is honestly a complete blank in this situation. He checks to me, and this gives me another opportunity to bet less to give any pair of aces or a flush draw a better price to continue. But this is where my immaturity to the game comes in. I bet another hefty amount, mainly because I was excited that I had a really strong hand. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys think I should have done. Any feedback is always appreciated. Anyways, the other guy ends up folding, and the reason this is my favorite hand is because we have a special guest, which you guys should know from the title and thumbnail. Let me just roll the clip.
Hey, pull your cards back one more time, man. Hey, let's go. Let's go. You want to do like a selfie thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, the man himself.
What up? Check this guy out. He just put in a sick bet with ace king. He won the pot. I thought he was bluffing. He wasn't. I would have paid you off. Try fold. Yeah, check this guy out. He's up and coming.
Appreciate it, bro.
Right on,
Thank
dude.
you. I've been following this guy for a minute now, and I saw he was behind me. He's like, hey, show your hand real quick. But he was behind me, so I didn't see him. And then I didn't listen to him, so I kept betting. The other guy folded, so I just showed real quick. He's like, hey. He walks away, and I'm like, oh my god, it's him. I had no idea.
Right
Freaked
on,
out, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, hey, watch out for this guy though.
Really?
Watch out for this guy.
I
This
know.
guy's smart.
He took all my money.
Just get aces. It worked.
No, he took my money with the queens versus sevens. We did a bomb pot, and then we did a bomb pot. It was jack 3-7 with 2 spades. I had queens, someone had aces, and he flopped a set with sevens.
That's a good
All
play,
the-
Edgar. That's a fucking good play, Edgar.
So that's how we stacked right there, bro.
It's all skill.
It's all skill, but
It's not for set, huh?
I know.
Hey, good luck to both you guys, man.
Appreciate
Nice
it,
to
bro.
meet you, man.
Well, I'll see the video that comes up, right, man?
So it was just really cool that he was behind me the whole time, and I had no idea who it was in the moment. But after folding it, he makes a funny comment and he walks away. And as he's walking away, I turn over and I'm like, oh my god, that's him. I freaked out, and I wanted to record with him, talk with him, and just have a conversation. And sure enough, we did. So yeah, you guys, it was honestly a really fun time. And we're gonna go over one more hand, and it really wasn't all that important, but there was something that happened that I recorded that I do want to point out and talk to you guys about. So basically what happened is we have pocket nines, I raised pre-flop and ended up getting some action. I c-bet and they call, I fire on another street and they fold, but for some reason, I don't think the dealer was happy that I was not only recording my hands, but I was also recording the boards that came out to make this video and make notes later. And so much so that when I took the pot down and tried to record the board, she quickly turned it over for me to not get the shot. And on top of that, she decides to basically throw the chips at me after winning the pot, and which I honestly don't think was really cool. And so I'm not a big fan of making a big scene or a big commotion, especially over something as dumb as recording. So if the dealer or any other player at the table were to just ask me with no reason at all, I would stop recording in a heartbeat. This actually happened to me back a few poker vlogs ago. I was recording at the Commerce, and one of the players just said, "Hey, I really don't want you to be recording your hands. Can you please stop?" In a heartbeat, I just stopped recording. I put my cameras down, I put it in my pocket, and I just didn't do it for the rest of the night. But going back to this spot, literally after that pocket nines hand, as I was stacking my chips, the pit boss, out of all people, the pit boss came over and asked me to stop recording. And I don't know, it just kind of felt uneasy that the dealer wasn't the one to ask me. She was kind of just being rude to me, throwing my chips, turning over the board, and then went over to go tell the pit boss that I was recording. I don't know, it just kind of just felt uneasy. So, like I said, after the pit boss asked me to stop recording, I turned off my phone, I put it in my pocket, and I didn't record any other hands for the rest of the night. But the reason I knew, or I have a big feeling that the dealer was the one that told the pit boss, is because the person to my right, shout out to you, Edgar, you're the homie, actually spoke out about it and said that he doesn't understand why they don't let us record. And it was just kind of funny because he was talking to me and asking me and just basically having a conversation, but out of nowhere, the dealer jumps in and starts getting emotional and angry about it and says, "Oh, it's because of people privacy and they don't want you to record their hands and blah, blah, blah." And she's just jumped into the conversation all mad for absolutely no reason. So after that situation happened, I was basically in the middle between the two, and I tried to calm them down as much as I could because, like I said, I'm not here to start a big commotion. I'm not here to make a big deal about it. But if you just ask me to stop recording, I will. So yeah, you guys, that was the end of the video. That was the last hand that I recorded, and I ended up coming up. So at the end of the day, I ended up putting down $800 on the table in total, and I cashed out for $900. So I made a profit of $100, which is honestly really, really nice, and I'm so grateful for. But the big winner is my brother. My brother, on the other hand, was at a completely different table with the same blinds, so he was playing the same game as me, and he ended up putting down up to $1,000 down on the table and cashed out for $2,400. So he had a really, really big win. Shouts out to him. I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy for you, bro. And yeah, you guys, this is gonna be the end of this video. Once again, shout out to Mariano. Make sure you go check out his channel and subscribe to his channel if you guys haven't. He makes amazing, amazing poker vlogs. They're really awesome, and I've been following him for a minute now. And thank you for being in this video. But that's gonna be everything for today, you guys. If you guys like this video, don't forget to smash that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you guys wanna watch more videos in the future. And a few more announcements. Make sure you guys go listen to my podcast. It's with me and my friend Dong Lee. Link will be down below. And if you guys want some free money, I do have a link down below for an investing app, Robinhood. You click that referral link and you'll get a free stock, which is essentially free money. And yeah, you guys, that's gonna be everything for today. I will see you guys for the next one, and peace out.